Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing great and having a great day. So, not a crazy news day today, thank goodness. There are a couple things going on as far as Bitcoin and SegWit. I don't know if you guys saw a bit earlier, the price of Bitcoin dipped below $4,000 a coin. And it caused a bit of a stir. And when you looked online for information about it, it was pretty much because of the entire SegWit 2x thing. So I'm not going to even really get into it because I thought about talking about it, but it didn't seem that necessary. It was just a bunch of programmers and men fighting each other on Twitter and Reddit, commenting back and forth how they didn't like each other. Some people blocked other people apparently on different accounts, and no one can really agree on what should be done with Bitcoin. And this is, like I keep saying over and over, I don't know how many people agree with me, but this is going to be a big problem as we move forward, especially as we get closer to November, because there's a lot of fear that this could result in another split of the network, which would not be good for cryptocurrencies at all. Like I keep saying, there are already too many coins, and we don't need three mascots. Bitcoin, who is, the big name in it. And once we have three of them, that will not be good for anyone. So at the current moment, Bitcoin is down 1.7%, which is to be expected because of all the back and forth that's been going on. It's really crazy how strongly people believe in implementing a new software on something and the disaster that it causes between other coins. So Ether is down 5%. IOTA is down 4.6%. Sorry about that. And the winner for today by a clear margin is Ripple, who is up by 37% at the moment, which is absolutely crazy. So this has a lot to do. I told you guys yesterday about the rumors of expansion into Asia that has not slowed down. There are tons of people now coming forward and saying that they have evidence of this, so they are hearing this from other places as well. And also last night, I think this happened as I was going to bed, Ripple team actually posted on Twitter. They posted, it was just in an image. It looked like this obscure type of, someone had just kind of drawn lines and then wrote something above it, and it said 3, 2, 1 countdown begins. It's pretty much them teasing 3 days of upcoming news. Nobody knows what the news is, but a lot of people, comically enough, were actually playing with the figure that was on the screen. So if you go to like their Twitter, is literally just Ripple, you see this figure and people were literally turning it sideways, and it actually matches Korea perfectly if you look at the entire figure of it. So this is leading a lot of speculation of people believing that something big has happened with Korea, because they wouldn't have drawn this exact shape of Korea had they not had something to do. Something big isn't coming from them if they wouldn't have done this. So let's see what this is, guys. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about other coins constantly trying to get into Asia, and it seems like Ripple might be one of the first ones to kind of stick their head in there, if you will, because the other coins, they're not going to rest until everyone has that huge amount of money with them. So like I said, they're up 37% at the moment, which is absolutely crazy. It's nice to see them finally going back up. So many other coins have held the attention for the last couple weeks. This is why every other coin has just been sliding down. But yeah, let's see what the next 3 days hold for Ripple and what news they're going to give us, because I assume it's going to be very interesting. If any type of major news actually comes out, like something really, I want to say spectacular, something that could actually change the market or change where they are, any type of integration into some other system, you could possibly see a dramatic bump in the prices we've already seen in the last, it's been about 12 hours and it's gone up by 37%, and no news has even come out yet. It's just tons of speculation and tons of hype, but we'll see what actually happens. So like I said, there's not much crazy news, but I thought this was pretty interesting. I don't know how long you guys have been into Bitcoin or into cryptocurrencies, but one of the main reasons that I've seen personally is that when people get into cryptocurrencies, it's because someone has told them the price increase of Bitcoin. Like I've mentioned before on my other videos, the price went from 0.0001 to around 4,400, where it was a couple days ago, in just around 8 years, which is absolutely crazy. This is why so much money has been flowing into cryptocurrencies from other markets. It's like extremely clear at the moment. It's not even like a lot of people thought for a while, like this is why they keep saying that they thought that Bitcoin and all these other things were bubbles simply because the price just keeps rising. And then you realize that it's all these billionaires and millionaires getting into it as well. They're taking money from other markets, from other things that they have their money inside of. and they are slowly dropping it into cryptocurrencies and kind of just leaving it there. So this is why I'm such a huge, I keep saying over and over and over, if you are getting into this, it can be about quick money, but I think the long term is where the most money can be made. If you had gotten into Bitcoin when it first started, and then left a year and a half later, you would have made some great returns. But had you stayed in for the additional 6 years to where we are now, you'd be a multi-millionaire. This is exactly what I feel about every other coin, especially as time goes on and these things are mined more and the difficulty increases for getting these coins on the network. So if you guys know other people who are also interested in getting into cryptocurrencies, one of the main things to tell them is not to be afraid, because a lot of people who are getting into cryptocurrencies, they're trading for the first time in their entire life. So I understand a bit of the fear, but as we continue to go forward, and even as we get more regulation on these coins, I keep saying it over and over, don't think that we're not going to be regulated at some certain point. But when we are, and when the regulation starts and we have more ETFs and we have more things on the world stock markets that are pegged to the price of these things, and trillions of dollars are then flowing into the cryptocurrency market, this is when things will get absolutely crazy, because it's no longer just us talking on YouTube who are into these things. It'll be major players, and these will be the people who increase the price to numbers that we can't even begin to imagine. This is why we're constantly seeing all these huge, gigantic numbers when people and analysts and mathematicians are constantly saying what the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will be. So there's a guy named, his name is Naeem Aslam, Naeemaslam. He is a trader, and he apparently is a contributor on Forbes. He believes that one Bitcoin will be worth $619,047 by the year 2027. So this is another crazy, gigantic, huge number that, it seems unbelievable. But like I said, Bitcoin has risen by, I think it's, what is it, 3 million% or something like that in 8 years. So yeah, he says that if Bitcoin demand increases, which it will, by just 4%, that is literally only 4% from where it is now. He said, taking away from money from the global real estate market, from the world index funds, and from global debt, you come out with a number of $619,000 for each Bitcoin. Prices might not be as high as we want them to be now, or whatever we might think they should be, but I don't see any type of demand slowing down for any of these coins. A lot of people don't know that how cryptocurrencies are mined, or what mining even is. So when you explain that to your friends, like you're explaining cryptocurrencies to them, make sure to add that in, because a lot of people don't understand how these things are made, why they're made, or kind of where they come from. And it's a really big thing to tell people that every couple years, when the mining difficulty gets more and more, and and the reward for getting these coins is getting cut in half, this is a huge thing that happens with the market. This is why we're seeing the prices that we are now. He goes on to continue saying that if Bitcoin remains at 21 million units, the price could go even higher. Now, this is a very, very interesting point, because I've said this in a couple other videos before. There are a lot of people who say that if mining continues at this current rate, that is, if everyone who's into it now, no other further people constantly get into it, that by the year 2030, it'll become so difficult to mine Bitcoin that you will need these mega gigantic computers to even try to get a couple cents out of it. So it'll become really, really difficult. A lot of people don't know that tons of Bitcoin have been destroyed. They're completely gone forever and ever on other computers. And by 2030, they believe that it'll be around 19 to 20 million Bitcoin that will have been mined completely, with a couple, they now estimate, I think it's 1 or 2 million that are completely gone forever in some sort of way. So you have to think, what will then happen to the price when people are finally calculating this, and this is kind of becomes everyday news and people realize just how few there are out there. For me personally, I think one of the major things that's holding cryptocurrencies back is pretty much just how many coins there are. I was talking with a friend about this, I think today or a couple days ago, and it's, people have questions on what coin to invest in, how many coins should they invest in, and most people say, just pay attention to the top 10, pay attention to the top 15, pay attention to the top 20. But when you have so many constant new coins and so much money is being pumped into these things, like I told you guys before, I only focus on certain coins for a reason. But when you have 900 something coins, or even when you have a top 25 or a top 30, and new coins are constantly pushing their way into it, this is really kind of destroying the market. It's kind of, I wish personally that we didn't have so many coins. There are only so many, you only need so many coins for so many things. You need just a payment system and something that works with banks. And even though there are so many new coins that are coming out that seem really cool, that seem really awesome, that may do something else that some other coin can't do, it's very easy to replicate these coins and to just make a new one that does something slightly better than the last one that was being spoken about. And then you are kind of flipping around for different coins that have no purpose. It is very interesting that when we do get these future valuations for these coins, they're all very similar. None of them seem to be, 300 million per Bitcoin or all these other crazy things. We've now had within the next, 3 to 4 years, we've had 30, 40, and 50,000 by the time we hit 2020. And within the next 10 years, we've constantly had 400,000, 500,000, now 619,000. So all these numbers are floating around each other, and these are all by experts, analysts, and mathematicians, which is very interesting. So only the future will tell where we will be in a couple years, because I'm sure none of us even thought we would get this far, especially with the prices that we have now. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for this video. Like I said, nothing too dramatic happening today except for grown men screaming at each other on Twitter, but that seems pointless to really get into. I hope you guys have a great day, good morning, afternoon, evening, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, wherever you might be. I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. See you. Hey everyone, thank you very much again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys would like to help me and the channel, there are ways to do so in the description below. Thank you very much, and talk to you guys soon.